and they put everybody else's needs first. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from women say how sexy they think it is for their man to go after what they want in life, to take care of themselves. This is what she said. I just want him to be a man. By being too needy, what she's getting out of that is that she is the dominant and your life is about responding to her and her needs. And that's not sexy or safe. Hey guys, welcome back to the TPM Show. Once again, joined here by our CEO and my brother, Brad Holt, and we're having a good time here. And today, guys, we're going to talk about the nice guy habits that you're using that are actually repelling your wife. So, Brad, thanks again for being here, man.
I love being here, man. You forgot to mention naturally good looking.
Yeah, I did forget. It's kind of been a lifelong thing, though. No, it's fun to have you here, the banter going back and forth, the jokes, but we also have some really serious topics to talk about. And this is one of them, because there's the men that come to TPM are great men. They're good guys. They will give you the shirt off their back type of guys. But because of that, because they're nice, they've fallen into, quote, what Dr. Glover says in his book, nice guy syndrome. I don't think he calls it syndrome, but they're a nice guy. And so I want to talk about some of the habits men fall into, great men, business leaders and otherwise, that actually repel their wife rather than attracting her.
I love that topic because it sounds like I'm a nice guy. What could go wrong, right? Why is this not working for me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it totally is. And, you know, what a lot of guys do is, and you can go back, we've done a lot of podcasts on being a nice guy and what that looks like. But what men do is the wife's not happy. She's discontent. So they think, okay, I'm going to be a nicer guy to make her happy. And that's where it falls down. And let's talk about the habits. I'll let you kick it off with one of them and we'll just kind of go back and forth and banter.
A big one is I'm the provider. I come home and what do you want to do? What do you want to eat? I ask all the questions to them, thinking I'm nice, but taking no ownership, no initiative, no responsibility. And I really think it's nice, but I'm really putting all the pressure on the other person to come up with all the ideas.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, you know, last night you and I went to dinner and I was laughing a little bit about this because I was like, hey, man, where do you want to go? And you're like, oh, I don't care. I was like, this is so stereotypical. And I know you really didn't care. And that's really the thing is a lot of times the nice guy doesn't care. But when you say, I don't care, I don't know, or I don't care, and you do that with your partner, and without having any leadership or saying, hey, would you like to go to Mexico? Where do you want to go tonight? I think is okay. If she says, I don't know, then you say, great, we're going to the Mexican restaurant. We're going to the Chinese restaurant or wherever you're going, the local diner. But you have to have some decision power because the worst thing, and then the nice guy habit number one is being indecisive, right? Is, you know, I say, Brad, where do you want to go? You say, I don't know, wherever works for me. I don't care. Where do you want to eat? And we go back and forth in this kind of indecision matrix, if you will. And everybody's everybody's doing okay trying to be a nice person, but it deflates, especially feminine energy. It causes your wife to actually go into her masculine energy to be decisive, right? My wife says this all the time to me, Brad. She just goes, like Mother's Day, like, I go, babe, is there anything special you want to do? I got a day planned for you. Is there anything special though you want to do? I just want to check in with you, right? Because sometimes she goes out with her girlfriends, they get together. So I'm coordinating the day. I have the whole day planned. And I asked her and she goes, you know what? I'm meeting the girls at this time. Does that work for you? She asks. I told her yes. And she says, I just don't want to think. Just don't want to think. I want you to take care of all the decisions. So I was like, yep, I already have them. They're all done. And that time that you're going to meet the girls for a drink, that'll work out in the schedule. Not a problem at all. And we go away. My wife, you could see her visibly, just her shoulders relax and her just go, you know, she knows when that day comes that I've got her taken care of. She's going to have a great time. And I think more importantly, what guys don't get about this is she wants to be taken on a journey, like a fairy tale journey for her day, her moment, the date, whatever it is. And fairy tales never begin with, what do you want to do? Right. And continue on more than that. There has to be a decision that comes through.
And in my wife's situation, it's a little bit different, is that my wife wants to know that I care about her. And our issue was cooking.
Yeah.
My wife's a great cook, But she doesn't want to be the one who has to decide every meal because it's all the pressures on her. I decide the meal, I cook the meal, and I get to sit back and go, that wasn't so good.
Yeah.
And so we finally just talked out and I go, hey, what's on Mondays we'll have Mexican, Tuesday we'll have Chinese, Thursday we'll do this. And she'll switch it up. But the fact that I just initiated, and people blow out the word leadership. It's not like a big deal. Just take initiative.
Yep.
If they change, that's okay. But you've at least showed that you care enough to take initiative, as opposed to the other, which I don't care.
Well, that's it. Someone's got to lead.
Yeah.
Someone's got to lead. And if you're not leading, she has to. Right? Now she is the leader of your home. And now you are a nice guy and you're pigeonholed. And
and then that's what I think too is we build resentment. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Liar, pants on fire. Yeah, resentment gets built and built and built. I'm being a nice guy. And then what happens? Boom.
Yes.
And that never ends well.
Yeah. And it doesn't. It doesn't for her as well, coming through. So, okay, let's go to nice guy habit number 2. So to me, nice guy habit number 2 is trying to make your wife happy, right? And what do I mean by it? Does every guy want his wife happy? Absolutely. What I mean is, and I did this is over a decade ago, Brad, and I've told this story many times, but I remember Aaron, I remember Aaron just being glum and down, and that's not being in a good place. So I did what a lot of guys go, okay, I'm going to work harder. I am going to show her how great of a man I am. I'm going to make her happy. So I came home from work early, put on a pot of coffee, cranked the music up, and I cleaned the house, right? And went over and over. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to take out the trash. She bitches and moans about that. I'm going to do this because I had a little resentment to it, but I was going to prove myself to her of how lucky she was. Not only do I provide and protect, but I also can clean, right? And doing all these things. I thought that's what she wanted. And then Aaron comes home. The house looks great, better than it's looked. And she's like, oh, you didn't get the oven? And I would just, of course, I lost my shit at that point.
I can't tell you because I heard that story.
Well, because I remember it.
Yeah.
But what guys will do, and I've done this many times during that time until I figured this out, right? Which is gauge the difference and other things that have come into what we call the activation method. But before I was activated, I would think, okay, I need to do more to make her happy. I will clean her car. Acts of service is my love language. So I will do things for her. It's not her love language. And guys will do this often. Like they'll feel like they're in the doghouse. So they'll cook, they'll clean, they'll do the dishes. Their wife will just sit on the couch and be on her iPhone, scrolling Instagram. Or what really happens, Brad, is if guys have been doing this for a while, their wife is sitting on the couch chatting with another guy. And they don't even realize it. And guys, I know it's hard for a lot of you guys to hear this, but Brad and I, we hear the stories. And statistically speaking, if you're in this mode for a long period of time, statistically speaking, this is what's happening. She's chatting with somebody else. Now, it could be somewhat innocent, but she's looking for that alpha in her life. She's looking for someone to give her attention the way that she needs it. She's looking for an activated man.
Yeah, once the thought gets in, if you don't fix that quick, it turns to action.
Yeah.
And it's our job as men to step into that leadership role. It comes down, like you mentioned, love languages, and some guys are completely oblivious to it. They have no idea. So like your example, is Aaron's love language quality time?
Yes, it is.
So that's my wife's love language.
Yeah.
Which mine's also acts of service, which my wife will say, let's do this. And I'm thinking, I'll take child 1 to Lowe's. We'll pick this up. You take child 2 to Albertsons, pick that up, and we'll go to get a picnic later. My wife goes, well, why don't we all just go together? And I'm going like, are you killing me? You're killing me.
This is inefficient.
Exactly. But
yeah,
if I want to show my wife love, I do it. And she will, that adventure just going the shopping was as good as us going to the beach. The guys I deal with, there's the ones that just don't know. That's just an ignorance. They can be taught. But a lot of us intellectually know, but we don't do anything about it. And I know in my marriage, I sometimes forget that's my wife's love language. And I do something like you did. I clean the house. I'll do more chores. My wife doesn't care about that. That's not speaking her love language at all.
Yeah, but that's not even it. So you're right. You're 100% correct. But for the habit number 2, it's really trying to make your wife happy by doing things, right? It could be make your wife happy by buying her stuff. It could be all. It's the fact that you are trying to make her happy in order for her to like you again.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? That's the nice guy habit number 2 that repels your wife. And so, guys, this could be buying the lake house, buying a new car. This could be like me. You know, back then we didn't have a lot of money, so I was cleaning the house. I wasn't buying any lake houses back then, or whatever else it may be. But I'm trying to do it to get her to like me, right? Now it's an external validation. Now I'm being needy. I need her to say something. So when she comes in and points out the oven, I lose my shit, right? I go like, "What? I've been here for 2 hours, and I'm not a normal cleaner. That's just not cleaning the house is not my jam." I know.
Really?
Save the jokes. It's pot calling the kettle black here. Cleaning the house isn't my jam, so. You know, when I did it, I got really upset that it wasn't I wasn't appreciated the love that I did it for. Now I know that's transactional. You know, I have so much beyond that, but that is nice guy habit number 2.
What is habit 3?
Way to push it back to me. So nice guy habit number 3 that we see all the time is being needy, right? A lot of nice guys will be needy. They will ask the wife, "Hey babe, how are you doing? You okay? Do we love each other? Are we good today? Huh?" And they come almost like a little kid or a puppy, right? And that is so repulsive to a woman, right? Because she doesn't want you to need her. Your wife wants you to have something that's more important than her. She wants to be the most important person in your life, but not the most important thing in your life. And when you follow your wife around trying to gauge her emotions, trying to gauge her reactions, trying to gauge where she is, she can feel it. She can actually palpably feel it before you do it. I was on a call with a guy. A guy asked me to get a call with his wife. It's just unusual. I've done it before, but I usually don't do it. And I'm working with this guy one-on-one, amazing man. And I talked to his wife, and his wife, one of the first things she says to me is, as soon as he walks in the house, I can feel it feels like tentacles around me because he's watching and judging everything I'm doing to try to figure out where his position and place is and what to react. She's like, and this is what she said, "I just want him to be a man." Think about that for a second. I just want him to be a man. Now, he thought that he might have been too aggressive, too assertive. No, she thought he was being too feminine by being too needy. So that's number 3. By being too needy, your woman, she isn't getting the idea that you love her. She isn't getting the idea that you're just curious, that you're trying to question how good the relationship is. What she's getting out of that is that she is the dominant, and your life is about responding to her and her needs. And that's not sexy or safe.
Yeah. I mean, women want a powerful man to be there always. Never have to even think about it. But if all of a sudden we start acting needy, that starts asking questions, like raising questions in her mind, like, wait, maybe we aren't so good, or maybe this isn't. And that's not where she wants to go. Puts her in a totally different frame of mind that she never wants to be in.
Yeah.
It's totally repels a woman.
It is. It is. Pull the microphone up a little bit closer to your mouth because you're getting very animated. I'll keep it. No, that way the guys can hear you a little bit more. So now we're looking at number 4, right? What's the 4th thing in your mind that repels women that nice guys do?
Well, the 4th thing I think what they do all the time is they get into story, and they try, and this story keeps them from being the man that they want to be. And the woman has no idea the story is even had. So they have all these hidden contracts, and the woman has no idea about these. And the man's reacting on these transactional basis, these hidden contracts that they have with each other, and they never explain it. I want sex 3 times a week. And if it's not met, the guy feels all pouty and is all upset. And I ask, have you ever asked or told her this? And no, but she should know.
Yeah. Oh gosh, she should know. Covert contracts is a big one.
Yep.
Yeah. And the assumptions that people make that everybody should just know what they're thinking. All marriages have sex on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m., right? Or whatever else. Where'd you get that idea? Where'd you get that notion? That's a good one. That's a good one. Number 5 would be the last one I think that I'm going to leave it with. that I think is guys who really, when they come home, they've just lost their ability to take care of themselves, right? They stop taking themselves and they put everybody else's needs first. And I think most of our guys, the guys that I talk to, can relate to this, and I certainly could, is my idea of being a powerful man back then was that I would work myself to death, essentially, to provide for everybody else. I'd make sure everybody else ate. I'd eat last. Everybody was taken care of before Doug was taken care of.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what it meant to be a man. And then what would happen, Brad, is I would be depleted, drained, and I look up and go, well, where is everybody for me? And then I'd be resentful, angry, upset. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard from women say how sexy they think it is for their man to go after what they want in life, to take care of themselves. I guess they're two separate things, but I'm going to combine them. So taking care of yourself, or your own, filling your own needs, maybe physical needs, your health, working out, etc., but also just doing what you want to do, going after it. And it's also why so many times when men go through the activation method, when they join, it's like almost like, hey, I joined, I signed up, and before the first call, if their wife finds out, she starts to turn the corner because she's like, aha, he's now going for what he wants. He's now taking care of him, not her. And even when, Brad, oftentimes what will happen is a guy will join the activation method. In fact, we got a video of a guy, great couple, and the wife talks about this. He goes, I'm joining the activation method. And she was basically like, no, you're not. Like, you're not going to spend money and time doing that. He goes, yes, I am. And she says this on camera. She's like, it was so hot. That's the thing. He stood up to her to go after what he knew was the right thing for his family, what he knew was the right thing for him, regardless of what she thought. Now, he wasn't being a jerk about it. He just knew it with confidence. And even though she said no to him, she says this is on camera. You can go to our website. You can watch her say this in the video. She was like, it is so hot. And women want that. He was leading. He was taking care of himself. He was taking care of his power. He was taking care of his purpose. Remember, a woman doesn't want her to be the number one thing in your life. She wants to be the number one person in your life. She wants your purpose and you to be your number one thing in life, right? And that's how she knows you're going to be there to do it. The nice guy puts everybody else first. Everybody else's needs first and puts himself last. And that was number 5, that will repel your woman, or any woman for that matter.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very nice at all. I mean, sometimes we confuse quantity of time. I'll just do all this stuff with quality of time. So investing in yourself, be it the powerful man, exercising, doing your fun hobbies, or like this gentleman said, I'm going to do this. So many men get in their minds and say, no, I'm not going to do this because I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
But because I want to do all these little things, which is so unattractive.
Yeah. And I want to wrap this up and put a bow on it if I can. I don't know why I like saying that today, but I do. Is when you think about these things, these quote, nice guy things. So we can go through all 5 of them if we want to, but you guys can just rewind this. All of these aren't really being a nice guy. They're being a manipulator. Right? Because you're being nice to get something in return. That's transactional. If you're a business guy, it's like, hey, Brad, I want you to clean my house since you're so good at it. I want you to clean the house and I'll give you $100. That's a transaction. You say yes, you say no. But then if I kind of do something nice for you, I clean your car with the expectation of you cleaning my house, but I don't say anything about it. That's not being a nice guy, me cleaning your car. That's me being manipulative, right? And that's what really a nice guy is. And that's why it repels women, because you're being a manipulator, you're being weak, you're not being assertive, and you will repel your wife like nobody's business. The antidote is become an activated man, become a powerful man. That's why we have a methodology, a proven methodology called the activation method. It reactivates you as a man, gets you to your core, to who you are as a man. Now, it doesn't mean you be a dick. It does not give you a license. Yeah. Some guys think they have to swing the pendulum other way, right? I've been a nice guy for 10 years. Now I got to be more aggressive, be more assertive maybe, but it doesn't give you a license to be a dick. You're still going to be as one guy said, I'm no longer a nice guy. I'm a great man.
That's great. I do too.
I think that was Big Sexy who said that, but I like it either way. And I think it was Big Sexy that said it to me. And I love it because it's so true. He's in his power. He's grounded. He's masculine. And Big Sexy would give you the shirt off his back.
Yep.
You know, he's just a great guy. But he's not doing it from a place of manipulation. He's doing it from a place of actually caring for people. And he's taking care of himself, right? First and foremost. And when you take care of home base, you can do so much more.
Yeah, when you do it from love, you don't care about the reaction.
I agree.
I love that word manipulation. Under the guise of being nice, I'm really trying to manipulate the situation to get what I want. And that gets back down to the transactional level.
Yeah, I want you to like me, so I'm just going to be super nice. And again, you want to be pleasant, and there's nuances to this game. But you know, if I'm wanting something from you, so I'll be fake nice versus actually being the authentic me. We talked about this in a previous podcast. There's a guy that we've talked about that we work with who's, in my opinion, is just unapologetically himself. And you want to get to know him just more naturally because you're not seeing his representative. You're seeing the authentic him, which is refreshing. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for giving those, go back and forth with me, guys. Gentlemen, those are 5 ways that a nice guy can repel his wife. Which of those 5 habits are you engaged in? Be honest with yourself. Which of the 5 are you doing? Are you doing 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5? And I know for myself, I own multiple businesses. I was playing competitive sports, and I was doing all 5 of those at one time or another in my life. I just didn't know better. I really, truly thought I was doing the right thing. But the truth is being the nice guy is repelling, not only for women, but also for guys. And you're not serving yourself to your highest level to be able to give back to the world. So this is your chance to get activated. If you're interested in getting activated and just learning more about the activation method, if you're a business owner or a C-suite executive, there'll be a link in the description for you to learn more. But whatever you do, take massive action in every moment of insight. And this is your chance to do so. We'll see you next time on the TPM Show.